I still believe the magic happens when you play with other people. Um, in the room by yourself is one thing, and you can do a lot of stuff, but the interaction between people and other players is very important.
Hello and welcome to interview number 900 on ForBassPlayersOnly.com. Yeah, I can't believe it either. I'm John Liebman, founder and first baseman, and well, we've got a good one today, as always. Gary Grainger, and you're going to hear about everything Gary is up to. Long time favorite of mine, all the stuff he did with John Schofield and acoustic alchemy and stuff he did with his brother. We're going to get to that in just a second. If you've ever wanted to learn bass, you should know that right now there are thousands of people inside the For Bass Players Only community, people of all ages. And you know what they're doing? They're learning bass. They're having the time of their life playing music that they love. You should come join them and experience that incredible transformation for yourself. As I always say, you're never too old to groove. So let's play bass. Gary Grainger is an electric bass player from Baltimore, Maryland, widely known for his work with John Schofield and Acoustic Alchemy, as I mentioned, but he's also performed and or recorded with acclaimed artists like Amir Deodato, Nancy Wilson, Lonnie Liston Smith, George Duke, Dennis Chambers, Eric Marienthal. The list just goes on and on. Gary also performs in the band Pockets, which used to tour as the opening act for Earth, Wind, and Fire. And he's recently performed with the Mike Stern Band along with Dennis Chambers and is looking forward to performances throughout 2025 with the Paul Reed Smith Band, Eight Lock, and some 70s funk fusion jazz pop tribute acts all around the Baltimore area. If you're there, you definitely need to check him out. Here's my interview with Gary. Hi, Gary.
How you doing?
It's good to see you again. As often happens, we bump into each other at the NAM show, which we did last month, January 2025.
And it was
Always good
good.
to see you. Hey, let's do another interview. It's been a while. The last one we did was 2016, and if that sounds like a long time ago, the first one we did we published on March 8th. You ready for this? 2010. Oh, you know what? You have a very distinctive honor. You are going to be interview number 900 on ForBassPlayersOnly.com.
Yay.
Published an interview every stinking week since June 15th, 2009. And now we're up to 900. So we're on our way toward 1,000. I don't know who we're going to have for 1,000. Some people have suggested it should be me. And I thought, okay,
Yeah,
well, maybe.
it should
You
be.
know what? From 900 to 1,000, that's still pretty close to 2 years away. So
Yeah.
I think it's March of 2027. I don't know. Anyway, but we talked about John Schofield. We talked about the recordings you did with your brother, Acoustic Alchemy, Pockets. So 2016 was a little bit ago. So
Yep.
what's new? What's happening these days? What's keeping you busy?
Well, I mean, I am still with Acoustic Alchemy. They do about maybe about two or three tours a year, mostly two in the States, and then we do a residency in London. That's been going pretty good.
Nice.
Still work with the Paul Reed Smith band. It's called Paul Reed Smith Eight Lock Band. In the process with my brother of doing, I guess you can call it phase four Granger
Or
project. Yeah.
in both of the previous interviews, you said we've got one and two out. I'm working on. You said
Yeah.
that in 2010 we want to get phase three, and then in 2016 we're still working on getting phase
Yeah.
three. I think in 2019 that finally came out, right?
Finally came out. Yeah. It takes a while
Yes,
to get it going, especially when you do so much work and tours and going back and forth.
that's right. And great things can't be rushed either.
Yeah. And what else is going on? Just recently did a couple of days with Mike Stern and Dennis. that was fun. I got something coming up with Mike Stern and Bill Evans at the end of this month. Um, I'm still doing I'm doing a whole bunch of different tribute projects, and that's been very fun,
Yes,
interesting.
I
Uh,
saw that. Tell me about those. What kind of tribute?
well, there's a young lady named Vivian Ross Scott. She's from Washington, D.C., but she lives in Vegas. She's been in Vegas for a while, and she approached me about doing her uh, like Tina Turner show, which is one project, and then something called the Four Queens, which is like all the divas all mixed in one. So I've been enjoying
You gonna
that.
do Proud Mary?
Who?
You gonna play Proud Mary?
Of
Proud
course, you
Mary?
gotta do that. Thunderdome, all that. It's fun. So we're in the process of booking dates for that now. Um, Dennis and I are doing masterclass clinics.
Ah,
You know, telling people how we created the grooves with the Schofield band and demonstrating all that. So that's been fun. Um, what else?
are these online things you're talking about? Or are they all like live performances and presentations?
Some of them have been streamed, and yeah, we did about five last year, and we have a couple that we just booked this year. Just booked one at this venue called Kind of Blue in South Carolina, Hilton Head, South
Okay.
Carolina. So that's the first one coming up for this year. But yeah, stuff has been rolling. The family's been great. Girls been great. Everything's good.
Well, that's great. Where did you do those gigs with Mike Stern? I love Mike Stern.
It was in Baltimore at the
Okay.
Keystone
Also,
Corner.
at the what? You broke up there.
Keystone Corner in
Gotcha,
Baltimore.
gotcha. Because I've seen him. I saw him with Michael Brecker one time
Yeah,
back in Fort Lauderdale, I think, during my South Florida years. And then
yeah.
I saw him at what was the place he always played? The 55 Club or the 55
Yeah.
Bar with
That's gone. It's gone now.
it's what?
It's gone.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, yeah, it's gone now, man.
He was playing with I'm pretty sure it was Jeff Andrews and Adam Nussbaum.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I miss Jeff too. Jeff was a hell of a player.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And any of the other old people that I mentioned, or any new people, anybody? But you mentioned a lot of folks there, Acoustic Alchemy and Dennis Chambers, and anybody that
Well,
I haven't.
a very well, the whole reason we went to the NAMM show that I saw you out there was it was the 40th anniversary of PRS Guitars, and we played the a sold out show at the House of Blues on that Friday. It was great, really great.
40 years. Boy, Paul must be an old guy.
Hey, he's younger than I am. Yeah, but yeah, it's been great, man.
Which model are you playing, or models? Because I know you were excited the last time. It was the what was it called? The signature product line bass,
Yeah, yeah, I'm
which you
still playing that. Play that the most. But I'm maybe venturing out to make another type of bass. I don't know. This is in it's in the makes now, so we'll see what happens.
well, what is it that you want that you don't already have?
You
Features
know,
or dimension?
you're always tweaking, like always
Yes.
seeking to get something I can make that a little better, so just trying different things. But I'm
Tell
working on it.
tell me about the rest of your arsenal as far as any other basses or strings, amps, effects, anything.
No, I'm pretty much sticking with Diodario strings, and I've been sticking with the bass company out of Germany. Um, they used to be called Tech, but now they're called I call them Ike or Eck, or
Oh,
however you want to pronounce it. But I love them.
Thomas Thomas Eich
Yeah.
and Peter Paul, right?
Yep.
Peter
Yep.
Paul Kutera. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but yeah, I saw those guys. They make basses too. Oh, you're talking about amps.
Amps. Yeah, the amps, the cabinets and the amps, because it's all that that lightweight stuff. Just pick up with the
Yes.
finger.
As we get older, that's yeah. I remember when I got my Walter Woods amp in 1980. It thing weighs like I still have it. It's right back there behind me.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, those guys are great. They make such a great product, and they're both so friendly, and just always love seeing both of those guys.
they're cool. So
Anything else? Anything in terms of effects or any other, I don't know, pedals or
I just
racks or
I recently just picked up that Digitech uh Neo Mono whammy.
oh yeah.
I
I
got
did
it.
stop by the
Yeah.
booth. I talked to the guys there. A guy named Johnny Lightfoot.
Yeah. I got it last week. It's been fun doing some
Oh, that's
wild stuff with it, you know, stretch it out.
awesome. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Hey, tell me about phase three. I mentioned it. I kind of glossed over it, but what it's the newest release with your brother, right?
Yeah.
That came out. So tell me about that record. Who's on it, and what about the music, and anything else you want to share about it?
We had our usual people that was on it that we always call on, like Benji Parecki. Um, um, Brian Fox is doing some guest singing because he's a good buddy of mine. Um, who else is on there? We have so many different people all the time. We kind of flip it up. And I don't think I got yeah, I didn't get John Schofield to do this one. I got Jim Beard, you know, I'm sorry he's not with us anymore, but I got him to play on the record. Uh
Cool.
yeah, that's really the only names I can think of right now. Yeah.
Listening to some of that this morning, it's very easy on the ears. Very nice. Congratulations. So when is I probably shouldn't ask this, but when is phase four supposed to come out?
If we're lucky, I'd like to have it out by 2026.
Okay. We'll be here before
If
you
we're
know it.
lucky.
Yeah, yeah.
This year is like it was like I got back from London um on January 1st. I looked at the calendar and it was, you know, kind of open and clear. At the end of January, it's all filled up. It's like
Well,
all of a sudden
that's a good thing.
everything's gone. It's just amazing how quickly it happens.
Yeah. Well,
Not
that's great.
yeah,
All good stuff. Glad to see you keeping busy.
yeah,
Hey, I wanted, oh, one interesting thing that I wanted to mention before we get too far off PRS. You were going on about the first interview was a text interview. With the last one was actually at the PRS booth. We did a video,
yeah.
and you were excited about the color of the bass and the design. And it's funny that I was watching that I think this morning because I interviewed Al Di Meola for my
Uh-huh.
guitar site for
Yeah.
guitarplayersonly.com. And he was going on and on about the color of his PRS guitar. It was like a rainbow kind of thing. It was all different colors. And it's I don't know, it's something special that PRS does that I think I don't know. Does he pay more attention to that than others? I don't want to slight any of the other bass makers or guitar makers, but the finishes there are just beautiful. They, in addition to the craftsmanship and the workmanship and the pickups and all the other things and the tweaking, the colors and the looks are a big part of the PRS. Would you agree with that?
Yes, he's always made some very beautiful looking basses and guitars, and the colors always jump at you. Um, yeah, I haven't really seen any bad bad made or bad color in his repertoire. Not once.
Yeah. No ugly PRS basses
Oh,
or guitars.
not that I know of.
I want to ask you about for bass players only is primarily a bass instruction site. And right now we've got people from all 50 states in the US and I don't know about 40, 50 countries worldwide. Last time anybody counted, that's probably higher than that now. Coming to for bass players only every day to learn how to play bass.
Okay.
And the interesting thing is it's not people who are career bound. It's not too many college kids or not too many 20-year-olds. a lot of the people that I attract are certainly over 40, but many of them are in their 50s, 60s, 70s. I've actually got students in their 80s, men and women. So they're not looking to play sold out arenas to their adoring fans around the world. They want to get together with their friends and play some classic rock riffs or some blues shuffles or maybe some walking bass, maybe a little funk R&B. And a lot of them don't even care about playing with other people. I was surprised at first when more and more people started telling me this, that they're perfectly content to sit in a room by themselves and just practice, just learn the bass. And a lot
Wow.
of times when we get into our 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, things like, I don't know, arthritis, tendonitis, or maybe recovering from surgery, there's a handful of that as well. And I'm telling you all this, Gary, just to give you a context, because I want to ask you, knowing the way I just described who we're talking about here, what advice can you impart to somebody like that who wants to learn to play bass? What kind of goals should they have? What should they be thinking about? What can you say to those people who want to make music on the bass? They've always wanted to do it, never got very far with it, or maybe they just were too busy and jobs and careers and
Yeah.
families and kids and things like that get in the way, and now they want to do it. So, what do you got for them?
I still believe the magic happens when you play with other people. Um, in the room by yourself is one thing, and you can do a lot of stuff, but the interaction between people and other players is very important with learning and well just getting better. And you can't do that in a room. You got to play with the drummer. You got to play with the piano player. You got to interact with the sax player or whoever it is. Go out there and play with people if you can. If you can, that's the best way, I think. My opinion.
Yeah, I agree. But if you can't, you can. When I say play in a room by themselves, it's not necessarily just the bass. You could be playing along with some tracks or with
Yeah,
records or recordings or something like that. But
yeah,
I remember, and was it a blog or a course or something, or oh no, it was a webinar that I did. And I said, when I started playing bass, I was trying to play all the Stanley Clark stuff and maybe some Jocko and I don't know, Larry Grant, Jeff Berlin, whatever it was. And I said, I had all the wrong goals. My goals were all wrong because I was trying to play fast and I was trying to impress and I was trying to dazzle and all. I said, no, man, that's not what it is. It's about laying down the groove and locking in with the drummer and making the music feel good. And I don't know,
yeah.
maybe I didn't have personal security at the time, or maybe I just didn't know. Yeah, how old was I? Teenager, wanted to play all that stuff.
Mhm.
So, as far as goals go, is there anything you can share about that? What some people say they should learn to read. Some people they say they should learn music theory. Some people want to get better at navigating the bass fingerboard. What what kind of goals, if there's anything that comes top of mind to you, can you share or could you advise these people to shoot for?
What makes you feel good? Do you feel good just reading? Some people love to read. Some people just love to groove, stay in the pocket. That's cool. I think it's just what makes you feel good in the music. Because I started playing music because it was my passion and it made me feel good to play it. And at this old age, I still enjoy going out and doing my passion. So it's never work. So as my wife says, yeah, you're going to party. No, I'm going to work.
You're both right.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, it's what makes you feel good for you. You know, what makes you dance, head around, bob, smile, all that.
Or you could, I agree with that 100%, but maybe take that a step further. What can you do to make other people feel good? We're the ones that make the people get up and dance. Bass players, right?
Well,
We're the ones.
when you play the party, you can see the reaction of who you're
Absolutely.
playing for. And
Yes.
You were saying, you learned all the wrong things when you started to play, trying to play all fast notes and everything. So you look at that person out there listening to you, and if you play the fast licks and they stop moving, but if you play a groove and they're right with you, then you know
That's
where you're
right.
at. So
That's
yeah,
right.
it is. Yeah.
And if you let the music breathe, guaranteed the drummer will look at you with approval
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
because that just helps lock in. This is great. I'm a bass. I must be a bass geek because this stuff really excites me when we talk about this. Hey, you rattled off a whole big long list of things that you have coming up, at least for 2025. But
Yeah.
uh, because I wanted to ask you, well, what about the future? Well, you already told me a lot about the immediate or the next 12 months, but is there anything either that you know about that's coming up long range, or maybe there's something that you've always wanted to do, but you just haven't gotten around to it yet? Someday I'll,
Well,
either of those things. Have you got
two
anything?
things. Two things. I made a decision this year to reach out to young people coming up, at least the young musicians that I can reach out to in this area. Um, because I was there and I remember the old guys coming to me, calling me up and getting me out of the house. I had a St. Joyce bass and I was carrying it around in a cardboard box on the bus. And my good buddy, he's passed. He was the keyboard player for Pockets, but he's the one that called me up and got me out of the house and started bringing me around to the clubs and introducing me to the music, jazz, funk, everything. Um, so January, I said, okay, I'm going to start reaching out, getting in contact with all these young upcoming players and see what they're doing. And if I can either help or give them kind of any kind of heads up of my life and the music business, I'll share it with them because it's my time now. So that's one thing. The other thing, I'm an artist. I paint and draw and all
Yes.
that stuff like that. And my sister keeps saying you should put your artwork, in little, I guess I don't know what you call it, uh, little frames, and take them with you when you play places because people may want to buy your artwork.
Your
So
sister's smart.
I said, that's a good idea. So I may try to endeavor in that too. So those two things.
You mentioned that side of you in both of the other interviews, and one you were talking about, mentioned phase two again. You were talking, I think, about incorporating some of your own visual art into
Yeah,
the publishing or the CD. We were talking about CDs back then. It was only 2016. How often do you hear people talk about CDs anymore? But actually, though, vinyl, which is older than CDs, we were talking about how it's kind of coming back 2016. Well, vinyl is very much back.
it's back
Is there
big time.
any? I think you were talking about maybe releasing one of those albums or some of those on vinyl. Did you end up doing that?
Haven't done that, but there is some talk of my brother Greg and I of taking phase one, phase two, phase three, and just do a compilation of what we think is the best and putting that on vinyl and maybe release that. So we will see. But that's an idea. So
That's
many
it. You
different
got to do
ideas. Just gotta stay healthy enough to do it, right?
it. You look great. You look healthy.
I feel
Keep it
great. Yeah.
going. Anything else? Because it was great getting together with you and getting brought up to date on what's been going on and what's happening now and what's coming up. Is there anything else that you want to mention that I didn't ask you about that because I don't know about, or have we
No,
pretty well covered?
we pretty much covered everything. But as I was saying earlier, the most important thing right now is I'm really trying to reach back and get connected with all the young players because a lot of legends are leaving they're not here anymore. And somebody got to talk to these people. Somebody got to tell them what's going on, pull the coattail, so to speak.
Yeah, no, I think that's beautiful. I was thinking actually this morning I was writing something down about how I can help other people and I'm really I don't want to get off on a whole other tangent, but I've always been intrigued by uh, deaf people enjoying music. I know there are people into that,
Yeah.
and I want to know how to sign, and I'd like to start a foundation, and you're inspiring me very much to and I've interviewed Bagiti Kumalo several times, and he goes into the schools and he talks to the kids and he gets them on the road to grooving and to learning to play music and make music and groove and all of those things. And I think that's great. You are very inspiring, Gary, and I'm glad I asked, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, take care, my friend, and I hope we'll get to see each other again soon and in person. Always joy hanging out with you and love your music. Keep making more of it, and we'll all keep on enjoying it.
Will do. I'll see you at the next NAM show, maybe.
All right, maybe even sooner. Who knows?
Okay.
Thanks again, my friend. You take care now.
Take care. Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye bye. Oh, what a great interview. And so honored to have Gary as interviewee number 900, 900 consecutive weeks since June 15th, 2009. My goodness, there's a lot of great stuff right here on ForBassPlayersOnly.com. Inspirational stuff, educational stuff, all these interviews. Check them out. And if you've ever wanted to learn bass, but you think you're too old or your body won't cooperate or some other excuse like that, you should know that right now there are thousands of people inside the For Bass Players Only community. A lot of them over 40, 50, 60, 70. I've got students in their 80s, men and women. And you know what they're doing? They're learning bass. They're having the time of their life playing music that they love. You should come join them and experience that incredible transformation for yourself. You're never too old to groove. I will see you back here next week with interview number 901, same time, same place. In the meantime, let's play bass.